Back to the Triumvirate podcast, the only podcast to take three completely separate things and make something brand new out of them. I'm Kyle.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Jasper.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify and wherever else you get your podcasts, and check out our Instagram and TikTok as well. We got an amazing discussion here today, but before we get into it, Jasper, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, I gotta say. Had a late start. I was up very late last night.
Why?
I was up working on a cover for a book that I can't talk about yet, but will be out soon.
A new book?
Not
Jasper
not a book by me. It's part of a collective that I'm working with.
But you're doing the cover.
I'm doing the cover.
Oh, that's
yes.
very good though.
Yeah, I was
Nice.
asked to do the I was asked to work on it, and then I was like, hey, can I do the cover? And they were like, we'll get back to you. And then I found out 4 days later, they're like, yeah, come on. So I'm doing it's like an old monster book. It's a collection of monster pinups. Kind of like 60. Yeah, kind of like Godzilla, stuff like that.
But look, can we work on the definition of pinup? What's a pinup?
Well, pinup's
I've
like
only heard of it in a specific
poster.
context. Okay.
Yeah, a pinup. Yeah, pinup has like a sexual context. It's just a poster.
Okay.
It's usually a poster of a single image, like a person.
Are you using your Big Apple Comic-Con picture?
No. In this case,
You made a new one?
yeah. So in this case, I'm doing a cover for it. So I'm kind of taking a mix of some of the monsters that are in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then the whole idea is there's one main monster that's spawning all the other ones.
Oh, there's lore.
Yeah, from what I was told. I don't know what I'm doing. So I have it's not done yet, but it should be done in the next couple days.
Okay.
Nice. And Andrew, how have you been?
I've been well. I just saw the new Superman movie this
really?
morning. Yes, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
That's cool.
It was good.
Yes, it was surprisingly good.
What was your favorite part about it?
The casting was very good.
Mm.
It had a good storyline. I liked the Justice League that was in it. It was because they had like the obscure members, and I like the Justice League as a concept. I think it's a nice sort of part of the world.
Yeah, I agree.
I think overall, it's hard to say without talking about it too much. 'Cause I don't want to spoil it
Right.
for any of our loyal listeners.
As well as me, because I'll be seeing it next week. Thanks to SVA for doing a free screening. Gotta shout them out for. I'm paying for it because I paid to go to the school. It's not free. Anyway, it's not really free.
It's just a boat.
It's just part of my tuition.
It's like free DLC.
It's free. It's horse armor.
Yeah, the horse armor isn't free.
You're right.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
That's awesome to hear.
And it's because, Superman, he always fights for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
Yes.
And that's what we'll be talking about today. We're going to talk about Thomas More's Utopia. Thomas More was a Renaissance writer in, I think it was Italy. I should have gone into this from knowing this, but I believe he was
I trust you.
And in Utopia, it's where he gets the word Utopia. He discusses what the ideal society would be like. But there's actually a double meaning in the word Utopia itself. Because he coined the term, and Utopia is a Greek word, Utopia. Utopia means place, but the U part's more complicated. Because the word euphoria, everyone knows about euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
Euphoria.
Sidney Sweeney.
Yes. Define euphoria for me, Jasper.
It's like a high. It's like being high on life, from what I know.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Positive.
So the U part of that means good. It's like in euphoria and eudaimonia, but so in Utopia it means the good place. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what else it could mean?
What?
We don't know how it's meant to be pronounced. It could also be pronounced Utopia, in which case it'd mean no place. So it's a place that doesn't exist, or a place that's impossible.
Okay.
So Utopia is in and of itself a very complicated word.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't really know what Thomas More meant. I think it's by design. He went into this purposely to set it up so that we don't know if he's trying to say this is the best place, if he's trying to say that it's just a place that doesn't exist and he's just kind of messing around.
Mm-hmm.
Like along the lines of Gulliver's Travels, where they go to all those places that are just... You're not meant to want to live with the Lilliputians.
Mm-hmm.
Or those horses, I can't remember their names. Have you read Gulliver's Travels?
I haven't. I know the general thing. Gulliver there gets like tiny little people get him. He gets like.
But that's only like the
up.
Beginning.
That's all I know about Gulliver.
That's all that happened in the Jack Black movie. I think that's why it's...
Jack Black ruined Gulliver's Travels for everybody. They can now only picture a fat man getting roped up.
But I'll go in and describe this society. I think it'd be quite fun if we then discuss if we want to live in this society.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'll start a monologue, so to speak, but I want you two to butt in with any questions or any thoughts.
We'll do.
With pleasure.
So, Utopia is an island. One shaped like a crescent, with a big bay in the middle. You guys can picture it?
Yeah.
Yes.
A croissant.
Yes. So, due to the shape, much of the interior of the island is essentially a harbor.
Okay.
And that allows for free sailing. You can go back and forth, and it's very easy travel, because this was written pre-air travel, so
Makes
sea
sense,
was really the best way to travel.
Yes.
And you would think, like this, that's easy for outsiders to get to Utopia. But this isn't the case at all. The mouth of the harbor, like the way you'd enter it, is completely covered in jagged rocks.
Okay.
And if you try to get in there and you get hit by the jagged rock, you're gone. If they're
Just gone
jagged,
instantly.
yeah. Once you hit the jagged rock, you sink ships,
Well,
you're dead.
so all the ships have to be made out of like wood.
Yes.
Okay.
But at that point, can people leave, or can they not come in and go out?
You'll pay attention, Jasper.
Can you
Patience.
enter from like the backside of the island?
That will be explained as well.
Okay. See, deep thinkers over
Yes.
here.
Yeah. It's good to ask questions. And these rocks can't be seen. They're underneath in such a way that it's impossible to
so
see
they're
them.
hitting the underside of the ship.
Yeah.
It's like dunes almost. Like it's like
Yeah.
you don't notice them, then it's like hit you.
Gotcha.
And there's only a few ways to get through safe routes, but only the Utopians know where they are. And even then, they only do it based on certain landmarks. And if somebody were to move these landmarks, then anyone who even knew how to get through wouldn't be able to get in.
Does Utopian refer to someone who lives there?
Yeah, someone who lives in Utopia.
As an historian, as a person,
Yes.
person in a
So
story.
even if you learn how to get in, they would just move the landmarks and you're stuck. You can't enter. So this natural defense makes it so that the society is completely isolated from outside societies. So visitors or those helping to move would have a very tough time getting there unless they're directly allowed in by the Utopians. And the fact that it's an island in and of itself means it's hard to enter. It's isolated.
Sure.
Islands are isolated. And interestingly, it wasn't originally an island. It was originally a peninsula. You all know what a peninsula is? Kyle, what's a peninsula?
So it's essentially, from what I know, it's like this. Oh gosh, it's kind of like this stretch that's attached to mainland, but there's water surrounding it on both sides.
Yes.
So think of it as like you have
Kinda
land-
juts out.
Think of it as like land here, just little juts out like that.
Yes.
So you're essentially saying it broke off.
Yeah, no. But because of Utopos, a guy who was the founder of Utopia, he made his army and his subjects dig off the peninsula
Dig off the
to make an island.
Interesting.
So he made it purposeful that the Utopia was isolated to make his perfect society.
Wait, so it's kind of like Themyscira.
Maybe.
I
know about Wonder Woman. I don't know anything about Themyscira.
Because the whole thing is, it's an island that they put a field around, so no one can see it.
Okay.
So no outsiders come in, and in a way, it's kind of a paradise. Everyone.
Yeah,
has,
it's a similar concept.
Everyone has the
yeah.
ability of living, and in that case, it's all women. But it's that same kind of like everyone is cared for. they're all like really buff too. It's cool, but like it's that kind of idea of like it's their version of Utopia.
Okay, so
Sure.
the other side, you mentioned docking on the other side of the island.
Yeah.
It's completely fortified in such a way that I believe the number is 5 men could defend an entire invading force.
Oh wow!
It's because it's just attack, like throw things down. It's just so well fortified. So there's no way to ever enter from the outside. You have to enter from the inside. You need to know the route.
Sure.
Well, at that point, could people sell the route?
But then they're just going to change it.
Are they purposefully changing it?
Yes. If
Okay.
somebody else finds out about it,
Who's
they can just change
purposefully
it. The
changing it?
Utopians.
The Utopians.
But I feel like that's pretty easy to infiltrate. Have someone on the inside who, for whatever reason, is against Utopia.
But nobody in Utopia is against Utopia.
Why is
Because it's such a great place to
But
live.
I feel like someone could be in the best place in the world. They're still gonna have hatred for some reason. Like it's innate in people.
Not in Utopia, and you'll hear why.
Okay.
So the island of Utopia has a number of cities on it.
Okay.
To differentiate between them, apart from the capital of Amarat, which is in the middle, is useless, because they're all virtually identical. They're built exactly the same layout, same languages, laws, customs, and institutions. Even Amarat, the capital, is essentially identical. The only difference is that the parliament meets there.
Okay.
And that's only because it's in the middle, so it's easier for everyone to get there.
Yeah.
The parliament meets annually, and has 3 representatives from each of the cities or towns, because at the time they're smaller. You know?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. In these meetings, they see that each town produces and give anything they have an access to other towns.
It's like they share.
Yeah, essentially. So if, let's say, one town gets a lot of eggs, and they see the other town doesn't have any eggs, they pass it out, and it gets communally split up.
Okay.
Makes sense.
With 54 towns on the island, in total. One is never more than a day's walk away from the next town. So you could just go town to town to town to town.
Yes.
So it's kind of like Europe, where it's like you can hit a bunch of small countries.
Isn't that really interesting?
Within hours.
Yeah, it says similarly.
Okay.
The towns each have territory outside of their city that consists of farmland to cultivate. They have no desire to expand their territory because they do not view it as property.
Makes sense.
Merely as a place to farm.
Mhm.
And they don't need more place to farm.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no need.
The countryside is dotted with houses filled with farming tools and 2 slaves that are permanently connected to
that I don't like. So I'm liking the rest of it. You lost me at the slaves part.
2 enslaved people, where'd they get them from?
They actually don't say where they get the slaves. That's actually very
Are they
right.
Utopians, or are they just outsiders? That they
No. They do. You can be punished and made into a slave. But I don't think the punishment would happen often enough that you get the 2 slaves. It might be outsiders.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, like, at that point, like, 2 per person.
It's not 2 per person, it's 2 per farmhouse.
2 per house, 54 towns. That's at least, that'd be a lot of punished people if it was just punished utopians.
So, each house is also a dwelling place for 40 citizen farm workers, that are actual citizens.
Yeah.
Okay.
These farmers are cycled in and out from the general populace over time.
Makes sense. So everyone has to help out.
Yeah, so every 2 years, 20 farmers get to go back to the city and are replaced by 20 other citizens.
Sure.
Makes sense.
And the reason not all 40 cycle out is that you still have people who know how to farm in the end that can teach the next batch.
And then they cycle out.
Yeah, so it's really clever, actually.
So at that point, in turn, everyone then kind of gets the basic ability of farming.
Yes, so you can then cycle through.
I think some people obviously have more experience, but everyone kind of has a base idea.
I think eventually it levels out to where everyone knows. It's just a matter of getting refreshed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if somebody really loves farming, they can get permission and they can stay there forever.
Makes sense.
They never go back to the city because they won't complain.
Yeah.
And even while they're working, the farmers get a monthly vacation where they get to visit their home city and are able to freely request any supplies they need. And the farmers always grow in excess so that they can then share it with the neighboring cities.
Makes sense.
So they don't grow only for themselves, they grow for all of Utopia.
Right.
Because then in turn, everyone else is growing excess.
Yeah.
So everyone is covered.
Exactly.
Yeah, so so far, besides the slaves, everything seems pretty good. I'm still kind of hung up on the slave part, but beyond that,
you would have to explain the justice system that's in place there.
The justice system is its own section.
Okay.
I'm going through this in the order that Thomas More goes through it.
Got you.
Okay, cool.
It sounds like the justice system is going to be a point of contention.
Yes.
So the towns are surrounded by tall and sturdy walls, with towers spread throughout the walls liberally. So there's a lot of towers. You can always get up there and view the surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Towns are also surrounded by a moat filled with thorny bramble on
that?
3 sides, like vines that are thorny, on 3 sides, and a river on the 4th.
That's cool.
The houses in the towns are all 3 stories tall and built to withstand near any weather condition.
Nice.
Every house has a front door leading to the street and a back door leading to a garden.
Okay.
The doors swing both ways at just a simple touch. There's no locks, so anyone can go in or out. There is no such thing as private property. That's why.
So your house is essentially just, you kind of just agree with everyone else that I'm going to stay in this house.
Yeah, but anyone can enter at any time.
But I think that works because if everybody has a house, there's no need to steal from someone else. Like, I think the stealing comes from not having something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like it comes from, I need a place to live, what can I do? Mm-hmm. I feel like if everyone has a place to live, there would be no reason to steal.
Yeah.
So why? Because that's kind of like, there's a town out in Jersey. It's called God Square Mile.
Is there an actual town out in Jersey that just, has communal property?
No, not communal property, but, everyone leaves their doors open.
Oh, yeah.
But
I think that's more so people knowing each other.
But the thing is, there are a lot of people in the town who just kind of come down for a week, come down for the summer because it's a beach town. So that's kind of when it's really active. Mm. At one point, we ended up by accident leaving our trunk open for the entire day.
Yeah,
and I had a 3DS sitting back there, a whole bunch of stuff. I came back, it was no one took it.
Yeah, I think that's similar to the part of Jersey that I stay in, and I think it's just a matter of, historically speaking, those suburban areas are very safe.
Yeah.
And so people around there, they know each other. It's a local community, so they feel comfortable. Now, interestingly, I was told a story once by a couple of friends of my parents that live in New Jersey, how they left their door open once, and then they kind of got held hostage because someone broke in. They just walked through. And they were holding. I'm being serious. They held them hostage. They had pets, and they were all barking and stuff. And they had to get the police involved to the point where they literally had a sniper position.
Wow,
a sniper.
Yes, because the guy was trying to force someone's mom in the car, but the mom just wasn't budging, and the police were there.
So a kidnapping at that
Kind of.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
But anyways.
But I feel like if it's a small enough town where everyone kind of knows each other, I feel like it works out.
Yeah.
That's obviously the exception, not the norm.
No, you're right.
There's also the issue of privacy in and of itself, though.
Right.
It's like nobody will take anything. But if you're just like in your house, somebody walks in, I don't know.
But I feel like you'd be able to be. You think you have the ability of being like, hey man, like like, I'm kind of off right now.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I think everybody wants privacy, and I feel like if everyone could, in theory, walk into a person's house at random, I feel like there kind of be the idea of like putting up a little sign, being like, hey, like give me a couple hours.
Yeah.
We also have to assume that, like, because I feel like the system works fine until you get that one person who wants to overstep their boundaries. Or...
I think we all know that one guy that would do that.
But I feel like you punish that one guy and make him the slave at that point.
He took to this too quickly.
Sounds like you already got you're already moving there right now. I'll see you never again.
My thing is, because I live a pretty simple existence, if I'm being honest. Like, my goal in life is just live and draw. Like, find a way where I can spend my days drawing and just kind of living.
Yeah.
So, like, this...
So if the slaves take care of him, so be it.
But here's my thing. I feel like the slavery part I don't like. I wouldn't be against it if it's people... if it's people who are causing problems. If it's people who are so inhumane, they in turn lose their humanity. But I feel like
Wait,
Jasper, I think the entire premise of U.S. slavery was that like they were like treating these people as less than.
But see, but in that case, they were using it as a means to create things to get free labor. What I'm more saying is, like, if there's someone who's going around and he's a rapist or he's a murderer, like, you lose your humanity by having those actions. I feel like that's a just punishment in a weird sense, losing your freedom by taking the freedom from someone else. But I feel like it has to be in very specific scenarios. Like, it can't be like stealing bread. Okay. But it'd have to be like a truly heinous act.
Okay.
I mean, like...
I think we should unpack that at a later date.
Yeah.
Very deeply.
Let's put a pin in that. We'll touch base on that later.
You're going to get us canceled, Jasper. Triumvirate podcast supports slavery.
Today's discussion, slavery. Okay, so Jasper, are you in support of slavery and why?
In the world, no, because so much of it is tied to racism and sexism.
But in a perfect society,
in a perfect
society, slavery exists, right, Jasper?
In a society,
right, Jasper?
Here's my thing. Assuming there are still evil people. People aren't evil, no. But assuming there are still people who just, for whatever reason, have the act to do heinous things and to hurt people and be malice, then I feel like there is a place for it. Because then at that point, what, you put them in a jail cell? Like,
so are you vouching for slavery over jail?
In a society in which... I'm trying to say this.
Let's go slavery versus lifetime sentence and death row.
I think the problem with that in general is that prison isn't really helping people rehabilitate. It's more just kind of meant to keep them there.
No, but let's assume they are meant to keep there. It's somebody who got a lifetime sentence. They're never going to leave.
They never see or be near anyone again.
I would equate it to people who were in prison and then in turn get even longer sentences and get put in like solitary confinement.
Okay,
like
then, the next step above that, slavery.
But isn't that what prison pretty much already is? Like they're working for 25 cents an hour. Like. That's legalized slavery. The prison system is legalized,
but not to the extent that you're living in a house and work. I think there's an inherent difference, because at the end of the day, we all view prison, even when they're being paid little to do labor and everything, we view that as punishment. But I think the moment you're in a house separate and you're farming and doing labor, it feels more like you're getting the labor and the punishment.
The question becomes how they're treated. Like, are they treated as subhuman? I feel like treating someone as subhuman, I think, is where it gets a little iffy. If it's just kind of like we're all working on the farm, and like some people are here doing their 2-year time. Some people here are
as a slave, yeah.
Like, I feel like if there's like, I think cohabitation is the key thing. If it's like they're in a separate house, we don't talk to them, that's when you start creating more problems, because then you create division between people.
But Andrew, did you say what exactly the enslaved people do?
They do the same farm work.
So I'm
The
saying-
same farm work as everyone
There's
else.
slaves do other things as well. We'll get to
Okay.
that.
Okay.
I don't have a separate slave section. I just talked
Okay.
about it as we do things. I'll say what the slaves are doing there.
Also, we need more background on like what are these utopians like? Like
There's a culture section.
There's a
I
culture-
have it
okay.
in my notes. You'll
because
get them
that's,
as
good- that's
people.
gonna play a part.
That's true,
in
'cause
how
that-
we
'cause the-
analyze this.
all of my opinions are assuming that they're like human beings that just for whatever reason like have a want to do evil things at times. If that's not true, then I feel like it shouldn't exist. But I feel like people assuming there are people who are just evil.
So remember when I mentioned the gardens that are behind every house?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they put a lot of effort into the upkeep of the gardens, not
Okay.
only just because they enjoy them, but also because they hold competitions
Hmm.
between the streets, because every street has a garden, to determine who has the greatest garden. And just like farming duty is cycled, the houses are also cycled. Where every 10 years a lot is drawn and everyone switches houses.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Why?
Because my thing is like if we already all have our houses, in
No, but that's the
theoretically-
point.
But they're all the
You
same.
just said our houses.
But the thing is like,
if you stay in it, you view it as your house.
but the
if all
logic is if they're all the same houses, why does it matter?
Yeah,
Like, why
if
can't
you
I
can move
just
freely between. What's stopping them from like redrawing the houses and then like everyone just agreeing we're gonna move back to where we were?
Well,
Because
they
there's
could.
no private property.
But yeah,
But this you're sort of enforcing private property.
But
by
what I'm
moving back to
saying,
where you
but
were.
are we assuming that all the houses are the same?
Identical.
If they're all the same, it's like the
No,
question.
but
is,
if you keep it for too long, you're going to start inherently customizing it.
But the
They're
question-
trying to avoid
the
that.
question becomes, but at a certain point, look, why spend the time moving? Like I'm fine where I am. You're fine where you are.
Yeah, no, but it's because the more time you spend in a place, you're going to slowly customize it to be about yourself.
But then at
the
that
idea
point,
is-
like I custom. But then any customizations that I made to the first place,
no, but you're not
I'll
going to
make the
bother.
second place.
You're not going to bother doing it.
But
'cause
10
you're-
years is
10
a long
years is a
time.
long-
Not really.
Yes,
We're
yes.
young, so we think it's a long time.
No,
No,
but
it's a long
10
time.
years you'll make changes. Here's why I say that. There are people that will say if they have say a rent stabilized apartment,
Mhm.
right? The logic is up here for a long time. 10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Like they'll make changes. If they're renting, if they're doing a lease renewal every year,
Mhm.
they're not gonna put up a shelf and paint the walls.
No,
Like,
yeah,
why
I
would
think
they?
if it was like 1 year or 2 years, there would be less
Yeah.
incentive to actually do stuff. Because like, and again, with the rule of private property, you can essentially leave your customizations there and just have an agreement with everyone and just go back.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It's like at a certain point, like, hey,
Yeah,
I have
wait.
my customs, you have your customs. Like, why not we
I
just
have a question. Do they like check to? They don't check to see who's sleeping in what house, right?
Well, it's by family unit, I believe. So it gets weirder, like all the...
Okay, so but there's like, so if people just agree.
I don't think they check, though.
So
No.
like, okay, so you can just sort of bypass this by just saying like, hey, I want to move.
Yes,
back
but
here.
nobody really wants to.
Why would they not want to do that?
It's the culture. I'm going to talk about politics now, which is...
I feel like we need this. We need this culture section.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
We need
Right.
this culture section.
No, 'cause I
ASAP.
think the problem is we're seeing it through our
We're
culture.
seeing it through like if
Yeah.
this were a human society.
No, so the way this is introduced in the book is perhaps I should have started with this is Thomas More is speaking to his name is like or speaker of nonsense, but his name is in Greek and I can't remember the Greek word for it.
Speaker of nonsense.
So and he
Nonsense,
says
so.
and yeah, that's how my book translated it, but nobody
Really?
nobody actually said that.
Because I might be Greek.
somebody get a DNA test.
But so he comes and he was he was an explorer of Amerigo Vespucci, and at one point he spent time.
That's a fake name.
No, he's a real guy.
Say it again.
Amerigo Vespucci. He discovered. He mapped out America.
That's
it
like,
was named
that-
after him.
That's like the name I'd create if I was coming up with some random like European.
You guys
term.
don't know about Amerigo Vespucci? Like, wait.
Him, it sounds like I have to make up a fake Italian name.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
Hey, Espucci.
not a Garasmucci. Papa the Gula. Say some random words and add an accent to it.
No, America is named after him.
Fascinating.
Amerigo,
I think I did
America.
learn about that. Sure.
Oh, he's lying. He's like, oh
No!
no. He's like,
I'm
you
not
know what?
lying.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, no. I'm being like for real. Like
Okay.
on your life.
On my life.
Yes, on your life.
I'm against
On
you.
your life. I learned this.
Lose.
Okay.
Also, it was nice knowing you.
I'm going to talk about politics. Some say
I love
politics
politics.
is downstream of culture.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think politics is reflective of the cultural mindset of
I've
a
also
certain.
heard the opposite, though.
Since the antithesis.
No, wherein culture is downstream of politics.
Culture. Well, perhaps it's like a paradoxical relation. They're just like politics is reflective of culture. Culture is reflective of politics.
Yeah, I feel like the idea of politics in theory makes sense. And you have, like, everyone comes together and they kind of say, like, here's what is the general, like, what is the majority want?
Well, that's democracy, not politics.
I think inherently politics is like culture, but like in a more legal and
like civilized
perspective. Like it's the application of culture into like concrete ideals and rules.
Yeah.
I equate it to people being on different sides, but being able to sit in a room and have a conversation.
Yes.
That's obviously changed with how the world is. But I'm saying, like, the idea of being like, we disagree,
but let's talk about it.
Let's try to come to a general understanding where we're both happy.
So you're going to like the political system in Utopia.
This is good, then.
So it has the traits of a representative republic, which is what the U.S. is. The U.S. is not a democracy, it's a representative republic.
Yeah.
That is because we don't vote directly on issues, we vote in representatives who then vote on those issues.
Yes.
Correct.
So that each town is split into 30 households, which each elect a steward, also known as a district controller.
Wait. So, like, you're saying each group of 30 households has a steward?
Yes.
How many groups of 30 are there per town?
200.
And it's the same for every town. Like, every town has the same amount of representation?
Yes.
That's fair to me.
Okay. Yeah, that's
because think about it, they're all the same size,
yeah.
all the same population. So
it makes sense for a supposedly perfect society.
Yeah.
Just wanted to confirm.
No,
so for every 10 district controllers, there is a senior district controller.
Okay.
Who is elected annually, but usually end up remaining for life unless they do something crazy.
Annually.
Everyone's okay with
yearly.
No, I know, but I'm questioning why are they elected annually.
Well, the Romans elected people annually.
I think that makes. I feel like a 4-year system. I don't think makes a lot of sense because you can tell within a year if someone's going to do a good job.
The idea is that you're instantly focusing on re-election if it's a 1-year illicit.
Yeah, but I feel like it requires you to kind of be on top of your game. I feel like the problem with like a longer, like a 4-year system is like you're in for 4 years unless you do something really, really bad. But even that doesn't seem to matter.
What if it's like a 4-year system where like you have the first year, and then like I'm gonna put this in sports terms. You have like a team option, which means that at the end of each year, the people decide whether you want to stay, whether you get to stay, or whether we should have a re-election.
But that's kind of
just an election.
That's just a 1-year system with more rules.
Yeah.
No, but like it's not like you have an election each year. It's like.
But I think it's like a mayor. A lot of times there are mayors who will be in office for like 20 years.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for.
And it's like, and sometimes a new guy might come up, but it's like. We like who we have. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
The minute he stops doing a good job, he's out.
And that's how it works for the senior district controller.
Okay,
that makes sense.
I can buy that, I suppose.
So, the 200 district controllers from the 200 segments all get together to elect the mayor of the town.
Okay.
Sure.
The candidates they're allowed to vote on are decided by the general populace. So they like pitch them up.
Makes sense.
So each quarter of the town submits a candidate. And then the district controllers have 4 choices from each quarter, and they choose who the mayor is. The mayor rules for life. Unless he is forcibly removed due to suspicion of becoming a dictator.
But I feel like being somewhere for life kind of in turn makes you a dictator.
Yeah.
Because if he wants to spread power, a dictator wants expansion.
I think the problem with that becomes even if they aren't a dictator, their kids will definitely become dictators.
No, but the kid's not part of it.
But then
it's the mayor rules for life. The kid is irrelevant.
Okay, so it's not. There's not.
There's no genetic. The next mayor gets voted for.
Okay. So I feel like that's usually the problem. It's like whoever was elected first does a good job, and like their kids ruin it.
Yeah.
Because the kids have just lived a life of
the silver spoon in your mouth.
Yeah.
So every 3 days, at a minimum, and more if there's something big going on, the senior district controllers and the mayor meet together to discuss the affairs.
Why 3 days? Because
it's like Jesus, 3 days. I don't know.
I feel like weekly would make sense. I feel like how much is going on?
Well, the mayors and the senior district controllers don't really do anything else. So they can get things, and they're doing like little disputes, like everything that happens in the town.
Okay,
sure.
They discuss affairs, both public and private, but mostly public.
Makes sense, yeah.
So every meeting also hosts 2 district controllers, a different 2 each time they meet, so that they can express their
problems,
the people they're representing. And any public affairs must be discussed for a minimum of 3 days before a verdict is passed. It also cannot be debated the day the issue is presented. to prevent knee-jerk reactions from members of the council.
I feel like 3 days is a lot. Like if it's a minor issue.
No, but you need to make sure it's fair. Because if you say minor issues are this and major issues are this, who decides what's a major and a minor issue?
But I feel like a minor issue could be like, someone's well is broken. Someone has to come fix it. Like that shouldn't take.
No, but they have to discuss who fixes it, where the.
But I feel like
is there no profession? Like,
but
is
the problem,
no designation?
No, yeah, but there's multiple people doing it.
But the problem becomes then I feel like in those 3 days, those people that don't have water because they're
Yeah, actually, I get that.
Because I think of it in the case of like, if out of the blue your water gets turned off,
and then the water company discusses it for 3 days.
Yeah, it'd be like, hey,
I need water over here.
Yeah, like come fix it, please.
Yeah,
I feel like, but yeah, for like actual for issues that affect everybody and are more general.
Jasper, what happened?
It's fine. It's still going.
Still going? Okay.
Are we trusting this?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. You've tested it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you see the light's still green, so it's just the screen.
Okay, we'll cut this out.
But no, I feel like if it's an issue that is more kind of in the weed in general, I think 3 days is smart. Mm-hmm. But if it's something as simple as like that road is uneven and people are tripping and breaking their leg, like let's pave it.
Okay.
That shouldn't be like who should pave it? How should it be paved?
What color?
Just pave it, fix it.
So, but regarding the not being able to discuss it on the day it's brought up, I find that interesting because the idea is that. What happens a lot is you'll make a knee-jerk reaction. You'll be like, I'm against this. It can't happen. Mm-hmm. And then, so that you don't seem like a fool for being wrong, you'll start arguing. You'll never have your mind changed. And you'll start arguing just to win rather than what your actual viewpoint is.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Like, I equate it to there's some artists who will talk about, doing their pencils on one day and then looking back at their finished pencils like a week or 2 weeks later.
Yes.
Because within those 2 weeks... they're not able to see every flaw with it, rather than trying to do it like quick, and then they're like, I realize this makes no sense, or this poses like it's like their eyes completely change.
Yeah,
for sure. That's also probably why like engineering projects take a long time. Like there needs to be due process involved because you cannot run on emotions when you're doing things that impact a lot of different people.
Exactly, you're right.
And it's also the politicians are not allowed to discuss these issues outside of the meetings.
Okay.
Because they can't collude together. They need to be in the meetings.
But you said they don't do anything else outside of the meetings.
Well, they live lives. They eat. They can't discuss it at the dinner table, let's say.
Right, okay.
They don't have other jobs, is what I mean.
Gotcha.
But I feel like they should, at some point in their lives, have to do, like, the farm work. I think like, to be a good politician,
you understand
have to understand the lives of your
Well,
people.
they're elected. And before that, they're just normal people who do the farm work.
Okay,
so I think you could argue they wouldn't get elected unless they did things everyone else did.
Like, the elections just work as they do here? Like, if someone wants to run, they campaign, and then...
I'm not sure, actually, but I believe so.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like... It sounds kind of like how like mayors are, where a bunch of people run, the citizens pick who they want.
Yeah.
In this case, they pick a few, and then
whoever. Oh, that's for mayor. Yes.
Yeah, whoever the higher up is will say out of those 4, this guy seems like the best bet.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mix of what people want and also what the higher up wants.
Yes. So all the citizens, male and female, will farm.
Okay.
In the cycle system. They're also all educated in farming from youth. In addition to this, every person, however, they don't just farm, because in the off-season, when they're not on the farm, you know how it cycles, every person has their own trade that they're trained in.
Question,
like weaving or stonemasonry.
When it comes to everyone working in the farms, like, are there systems in place where, like, if someone is on their period where, like, they can kind of, like, take time off?
The book, I don't have it in my notes, but I recall it says explicitly that they understand that men are stronger than women and they accommodate accordingly. So that could be read as describing that.
Yeah, because I feel like there is logic to be like, hey, like if she's in pain, like don't have her go on the ground like pulling out weeds. Like let her have a day off.
Yeah,
and that's fair.
Yes. Women generally have the less physically arduous profession, and so they'll have weaving rather than stonemasonry.
That's fair. And but the thing is, could they theoretically want to? Like, if they really
yes. We'll get to switching professions.
I think that's fair. Then, yeah.
So one's profession is usually determined by the family they're born into, so it'll be in the family of stonemasons.
Makes sense,
But if you take a special interest in another profession, you can switch and you'll get adopted by the family that does practice that trade.
Well, I like that because I feel like a lot of times, like you'll hear about people who do an apprenticeship and they kind of become like a surrogate son.
Yeah, it's basically an apprenticeship system.
Yeah.
So, and the district controllers, you remember them,
Mhm.
they come around to ensure that no one is ever lazing about and doing nothing.
But the question with that, like, are they just like what if they just see someone in their one moment like being lazy?
Well, listen here. So, despite this, working conditions are quite generous. There is only a 6-hour workday.
No, okay.
3 hours in the morning, and 3 hours in the evening.
Sure.
There is a 2-hour break for lunch in between the 2 blocks of work, and after work they have dinner and go to sleep by 8 p.m. usually. You get a full 8 hours of sleep.
Is there like a curfew?
That's kind of early though. 8 p.m.
Well, but then you wake up early. Jasper, you're nocturnal. You can't.
That's true.
Is there a curfew? Are there strict regulations?
No, I don't believe so.
So you could in theory stay up later.
Yes, but nobody wants to.
I don't get this whole like everyone just wants to do a certain
No, because the
thing.
society is so good. It's like it's a fallacy.
Is
in
the
my
society imposing these values on people?
No, but I think the general culture does, and I feel like most people would just kind of conform to it.
And they're so happy. Like they're living the best possible life in their mind. So it's like, why would I go against it? I'm loving life.
Okay.
So, but when you get your free time, you're not allowed to waste it. You have to do something of value.
But I feel like sometimes just like laying down, like it helps your mind get at ease. Like it is helpful.
Well, what is defined as like valuable?
I'll tell you what counts as valuable. So a lot of people attend public lectures to learn.
Yeah.
That's valuable. And they'll teach philosophy, history. It's the purely intellectual pursuits.
Okay.
Others continue to practice their trade even in the off hours. And they're praised for it. Everyone loves them. But they usually do it because they just don't have the aptitude for the intellectual pursuits.
Okay.
And I want to talk about dinner, where they eat dinner in large communal dining halls, which are these
Like
huge...
Hogwarts.
Yeah, kind of. Which are these huge buildings.
Every college.
It was my professor showed us all pictures of the Oxford dining halls. He went to Oxford.
Oh.
And he was like, it's a lot like Oxford. And I was like, okay, man, I haven't been there.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool, man. It's like La La Land, man. I've been there. It's like Timbuktu. That's awesome, man.
And so the dining halls are
Narnia.
also where the district controller lives. So every district gets their own dining hall.
District
And-
controller lives there.
Yes.
Okay.
So the preparation of the meals is handled by the woman of a specific household. And like most responsibilities in Utopia, this duty cycles. So every day it's a different household who comes in and gets to cook.
But at that point, like, but is that could that same woman be in the fields like during part of the day and have to come back?
No, because if you're in the field, you're not part of the town. You're separate.
Okay, so that's them in their off years.
Yes.
Okay.
But in your off years, you're still doing your trade.
Yeah, but in
Yeah.
that case, like, it's like
You're
their
like
trade
weaving.
is cooking.
Well, it could be. No, but you'd be weaving, let's say, and then you're also on the dinner duty that
But
day.
I feel like for someone to be a really good chef, like that has to be their craft. I feel
Yeah.
like
Well, I guess they're not really good chefs.
that's not.
So the food is subpar.
Or some people really love it.
See, I feel like some people could be taken off like a weaving thing and be like, this person has an aptitude for cooking.
Yeah, but then it kills the cycle vibe of it. I think everything's built around the cycle, and if one person's always cooking, there's no cycling of cooking.
Yeah, but can't there be exceptions to that, and you just have a cycle outside of that?
Maybe, but Utopos didn't think that way.
Yeah, I feel like at that point it's like you could have someone who like both weaves and cooks, but like cooking is their main thing, and they kind of weave on the side.
Like, imagine your favorite restaurant just cycles chefs, and like the new chef doesn't have any experience.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're having a special problem with the dining halls, you are allowed to eat at home.
But eat what like
that
that?
doesn't solve the
that-
problem of
Yeah,
like, there being
okay.
inadequate
But
chefs.
they would never want to eat at home. Because they'd be alone. Why do you want to be alone?
Why
when
not
you
just
can
bring
be
other
with
people?
Honestly,
everyone
like
else?
sometimes like you
No,
want to
but
be
like,
alone.
hold on. Yeah, I like eating with friends is great, but sometimes you just want to like relax.
Sometimes you wanted to sit down, like take a breather.
What is society's stance on relaxation? Because
Well, you're not allowed to lace about. Period.
okay, so do people ever get like tired?
Well, if you sleep a full 8 hours a day and you do your intellectual pursuits in your free time, I don't think you get
I
tired.
feel like at a certain point, I feel like people would get bored. I think
You're
boredom.
not bored though.
No,
Because
but
if
like-
you're in the work, you're always working. You're always you have your family, you have other people. You're intellectually stimulated from all the classes. I don't see how you get bored.
Well, but like you. What if I put you at like Disney, right? For like 5 years. Like, it's great. There's so much stuff to do.
But there's work to do there. It's if you were working at Disney for 5 years and you had all the rides, I don't think you'd get bored.
I get what you're saying.
You know? But nevertheless, at the dining hall, brief intellectual passages are read every day.
No,
Publicly?
fuck that.
Like what, over like a loudspeaker?
No. Some guy stands up and says it.
No.
That's like...
And they all discuss
I want to have a conversation with my friends.
Let me
like,
have it...
You could do that.
But then I'm doing it over a guy singing a hymn. Like,
No, he says it at the start, the intellectual passage, and then you get to converse.
But it's like, man,
How long
I
is
don't-
the intellectual passage?
It says brief.
Brief.
It's
To me,
quick.
that means like 10 minutes.
If it-
tops.
If it's like, I give him
10
3
minutes.
minutes. 3 minutes.
5 at the most.
Yeah, for 3 to 5 is fair. Beyond that, I'm eating, man. Shut
I'm
up.
clocked out.
So after dinner, you get an hour of recreation.
So like sports?
Yes. No, they don't play sports.
No!
They
It can't
play
be
games.
it cannot be a perfect society if there's no sports.
In which you can socialize, play music, or play games. And
What,
usually
games like what?
We'll explain the games. They only,
This is where I'm starting to draw the line.
I Kyle's like, I'm done.
they
Sorry.
don't have any
No
games of ball.
football. I'm out of
They
here.
Games of
only
ball?
have games of intellectual skill.
Just like what, trivia?
So they have, like, if I remember correctly,
Jeopardy.
there's this really weird game they play where you, like, add and subtract each other to attack.
It's called math.
But it's, like, it's a very... all the games are highly intellectual.
I feel like I think my one problem with this, I think everything is intellect based. I think sometimes you should have the ability of turning your brain off. I feel like if your brain
Yeah,
is constantly
also-
on.
Well, you get to socialize or play music. It's like, you don't have to play the weird intellectual games.
But I feel like even playing music, it also in turn like keeps your brain on. I think.
Well, you can listen to the music the other guy's playing.
But I think there should just be time to like sit down and like decompress your brain.
Well, if you do that, the district controller is going to yell at you. You're not allowed to laze about.
But
what's
what if
this-
someone's
No, wait. There many people listen to music in their spare time and they lounge around while doing that.
Yeah, you could do that. That's not...
So that's okay. So you can
during
just,
this hour, you can do that.
so I can
so
nap
during
and have
this-
music
so-
on.
So I don't know about how napping.
So you can nap as long as you're within like the range of the realistic range of the music. You can get away with it under the guise of I am listening to this
And the
music.
socializing. If you're just sitting.
Yes,
like
I
us
love
sit-
socializing.
Us,
Taking it.
this would count. We could have gone away with doing this.
Okay.
We're all just sitting here and speaking. This would be fine.
Well, this borders on like intellectualism.
Yes.
But
Because
also, theoretically, we could be sitting here talking about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
And
it's
they
just-
would never get on us for that.
Okay.
So the 6-hour workday is more than enough to provide for everything because every job is actually essential. Because we have so many workers, but a lot of them don't provide anything to society. So we think that we have all these people who need to be working. How long is the average workday? I don't know how to do it. What's 5 to 9?
9 to 5.
What's
8
the 9 to 5?
8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours, yeah.
Yeah, 8 hours a day is our standard, but they only need 6 hours a day
The
because
funny
if,
thing is like 8 hours is our standard, but like 90% of people have to work beyond that. Just
Yeah.
like implicit rules and whatever.
Yeah, it's that like, hey, but like get it done. Like it's like you're working more like 10.
and
9
if
to
there's
10.
if there's no work that needs to be done, the day gets cut short and you get free to go.
So I like that because at that point it incentivizes people to get their work done quickly.
Yeah,
So what happens during that time when
it's the
work
same
is,
sort of free time.
like recreation time?
Yes,
Okay.
it works the same way. So only about 500 or so in each town do not need to work.
And what happens with them?
The district controllers do not need to work. They're included in this numbers, but they usually work anyway to set a good example.
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
So in actuality, only around 300 don't work because the district controllers 200.
But so they just do nothing.
We're getting to it.
Okay.
Some scholars are exempt from work to focus on their studies.
Well, that's work.
Well, I mean, that's work. They're
There's-
studying.
there's-
Yeah, but manual labor is what we're counting by work.
But I feel like at that
Okay.
point, but like teaching would be work. Teaching, it's like them teaching would be
Yeah,
a job.
like-
not by the way work is defined in Utopia.
Okay.
All right, so if
My thing is, like, when I hear doing nothing, I equate that to just like sitting around doing nothing.
When
Like, if
I hear-
they're-
I didn't say doing nothing. I said they don't have to work.
when I hear work, I think of any craft that needs to be honed that it provides some value to
A
society.
skill.
Yeah. Less
Only a
complicated
priest
than that.
can make someone a scholar,
Priest.
and priests are elected by the district controllers.
Priest.
I don't love that.
Wait. This is the first time you mentioned priests.
Yes,
Let's talk more about priests. What
So-
is a
but-
I
priest?
believe I have a religion section.
There's a religion.
Okay.
There is a religion section.
Okay. And if one of these scholars does not show good results, they're put back to work, kicked out of being a scholar.
What is good? Define good results.
They're just like progressing in their field.
No, I
like
agree.
a scientist who's proving stuff, you know.
Yeah, I feel like if someone had like one good discovery, but it's been like 20 years, like
it's like
they've done nothing.
Yeah. And so the people who are the scholars are called Intelligencia. That's their class. Priests, diplomats, senior district controllers, and mayors are all selected from the pool of intelligentsias. So you become an intelligentsia, and then you're valid to be a priest and diplomat.
But the question is, like, are people in that space, were they at any point farm workers, or were they...
Yeah, everyone's a farm worker.
Okay.
Unless you get plucked up by a priest to become an intelligentsia.
But then theoretically, could someone have, at some point, been plucked up before having to do...
I suppose that there's some crazy child prodigy, but I think the odds are...
So Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, so suppose Sheldon Cooper is in Utopia.
Bazinga.
He would have been plucked up intelligent.
But, like, I wouldn't want him running anything.
Yeah, but you wouldn't vote for him. So it's fine.
Doesn't that open the door to some, like, essence of corruption?
Yes, I suppose so. But no, everyone in this society is happy, so they don't need to corrupt. Because you engage in corruption to get something, and there's no private property. What are you going to get?
True.
Okay.
So every town consists of 6,000 households, and each household is a family.
Yeah.
Women join the household of their husband when they get married, which is standard
That's
stuff.
fair, yeah.
The definition of a family here is not the nuclear family, where it's mother, father, children. Instead, it's the entire bloodline under one.
I like that.
I really like
That's
that.
interesting.
That is no. It's like that to me is like old Italian kind of stuff. But I think we've lost. We've lost having your grandmother, your great grandmother, your uncle all in the same house.
Because the wisdom all goes down. I think it's a nice setup.
Yeah, it's like for a while. It's like that. That's how I lived, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like it meant that I saw my grandparents every day.
Yeah, it's great.
And it was a case where I talked to someone, and what they saw their grandparents like once a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I see them on Tuesday. Like it's like you know,
Yeah,
I go up
keeping
there, they
in
come
mind.
down, it's like it worked.
And it's also just more entertaining. You get some golden interactions.
And remember the 3-story houses.
Yes.
So it gets figured out pretty easily.
But no, to me, like every
age group gets a floor. And you're
has
fine.
a floor, yeah.
Yeah. But so the oldest male relative serves as the head of the household.
That's fair.
Unless he goes senile, where it then goes to the next oldest.
That's fair.
Women are subject to their husbands, and children are subject to their parents. A household can only have between 10 and 16 adults. If you get too many adults, your adult's going to get taken away and put into another household.
See, my
Like
thing is,
randomly?
Yes.
See,
Whoever
my thing-
needs another one.
here's a question: like, is this a society where people don't do bad things? So at that point, if no one does bad things, then like sure, follow your parents because you don't cause any problems. But could problems arise from having different opinions? And could that be seen as like no, like that's the wrong view to have?
That's a good question.
Like I feel like if the idea is just like your dad's like, hey, don't start a fire, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. But if it's like, hey, like don't think differently, I think like that would be wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think there's also, you could just wait until you're the head of the household.
That's true.
It's like, it's his time in the sun, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to control the family.
Yeah.
So if a household needs something, the head of the household can just go to the shopping center assigned to their quarter of the town.
Mm-hmm.
And there the products of every household are kept. Anything anyone makes goes in that shopping center. And you just need to ask for something and you get it.
That's fair.
There's no currency, there's no bartering.
That's fair.
And they also have all the food. So if you want food outside of dining hall purposes, you can just grab food because the dining hall always has the food there for dinner.
So is there any currency in this
No.
society? So there's
Completely
no
gone. You ask for something, you get it.
I think that's fair because
And
I think
I guess the work then, in a sense, comes from like the principle of like wanting to fulfill.
Exactly. You gotta provide things so then people can get it.
yeah.
And because it's like a completely happy society, everyone likes doing that. Which I think, that I actually kind of like that because in real society, like a lot of the times people lose their joy of working. Like,
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
And that's where a lot of unhappiness stems. Like, oh, I hate
You're
my
unfulfilled.
job. Yeah.
Well, because I feel like at that point it becomes you're working to live, not living to work.
Yeah. So
Put that on a t-shirt.
the stores have all the food and they also have meat, but the citizens don't kill the animals because citizens are not allowed to draw blood.
So who
The
fills them?
slaves kill the animals because they believe that if you kill an animal, you lose your sense of humanity. But the slaves are already inhuman, so it doesn't matter.
This is like some Levitical law stuff.
I'll be honest. Back on the slavery part, I'm now against it.
What change? Nothing
I don't know, but
changed.
so I don't know. So, to me, I thought
That's
about
kind of dehumanizing, though.
But Jasper's point was, well, if they're not human.
But I was under the assumption that people were doing bad things. Based on what you're saying, no one's bad.
But we never actually got a concrete answer
Of how you get to slavery. Well, there is.
We haven't gotten a concrete answer to do people do bad things. You kind of skirted around that.
But I feel
does crime happen?
I think. Well, the thing is, I don't
But
think.
what would you do crime for?
Yeah.
But I'm saying,
unless you really hated it.
I understand. There's no reason. There's no reason to do crime. But that wouldn't stop people.
I do understand that. Actually, I think some people would just do it. But it's like if theft can't exist because you just get anything you ask for.
But,
so even if we assume you take it, what are they going to do?
And
so
no one would have anything that other people can't.
No, I know. I feel like the only crime would be murder or kidnapping. But
or
it's
sexual immorality.
Yeah, but it's at a certain point though. I feel
does
like
the lack of
I don't think they ever
does
talk
the
about
lack
it.
of private property extend to families? Because
No,
you
we
define
talk about
family as families are the only thing that's separate. Like if someone's married, that opens up the door to
No, it's,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, you're married and you're
So that's
still
the same
involved.
as it is here.
Yes, essentially.
To me, that's the primary avenue, especially because you factor in how if assuming these people are regular humans, how strong of a thing lust truly is. Mm-hmm. That opens the door to some.
That's true, but I feel at a certain point, it seems like I don't think any of the actions in this society would be enough for someone to lose enough morality to become a slave.
You'll see. There's a crime. What turned me against Utopia completely, honestly, was where they give an example of a way you can become a slave, and I was like, that's kind of messed up. But we're getting to that.
I assume it's gonna be something very minor.
Yes. So
Which I'd be against that.
If the population of Utopia grows too large to be sustainable, then some Utopians will be sent to the mainland off Utopia to establish a colony, which follow the same utopian system.
Suddenly imperialism.
Yeah, so like colonization.
No, okay.
We're colonizing people now.
What? Wasn't the whole idea?
It's secluded.
But they flat out said there was no want for new land.
No, but we'll get to.
But that's if we get new land.
No, but they don't want to extend to other utopian islands. Utopian towns. But so the natives of wherever the Utopians settle are allowed to join the colony, and they're treated completely like normal Utopians.
Wait.
Nothing changes.
Okay, but that's saying you can stay or you can die.
What do you mean?
But I'm saying if they came to a place and they were like, "Hey, here are our beliefs, here are our customs. What are your thoughts?"
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, "This sounds cool. Let's do it." That'd be one thing. But I think what's gonna happen is someone's gonna be like, "Nah, I like how I'm living." And then so
if that happens, Utopia will declare war on you.
Yeah.
Wait, repeat that.
So natives are allowed to join these colonies.
Okay.
But if they do not cooperate, then Utopia will declare war
on the colony.
On the natives.
On the natives.
On individuals?
That's what I'm saying.
What?
Okay, the whole idea was we have what we need, we're fine, and now it's just colonization.
Yeah,
now we're just starting wars.
That makes no sense.
No, because the idea is the people who live there already aren't using their land efficiently.
But by what metric?
By the metric of they're not producing enough to sustain. Because you see how Utopia always has an excess of everything?
Yes.
But
so you're saying you could have even more of an excess
but
if you did it like us.
But if a tribe or if a group wasn't providing correctly, they wouldn't exist, they'd die out.
No, but they could be more efficient. Here's the best way to view it, I think. And that's the way Utopians view it.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine you're an expert mechanic. Mm-hmm. You're great at making cars. Okay. And you see a guy with a half broken down car that's stumbling around making noises.
Yeah.
And you go over and hey man, let me fix it for you. And he's like, yeah, alright, sure. And you fix it for him. But if he says no, you're like, come on man, I gotta fix your car for you. It's horrible.
This sounds like the Borg.
What's the Borg?
From Star Trek. The whole idea is
I heard Borg and I thought of home.
No, the Borg, it's a collective, and they all share one mind, and they assimilate people into their culture.
Yes.
So it's kind of the idea of our way of thinking is better than yours. We're more advanced than you are.
Yeah, essentially.
We assimilate you.
Yes.
But they're the bad guys.
Yes. But I think an argument could be made for the Borg being the good guys based on what you're saying.
But I think my real problem is the minute you take land from other people because you're we think better than you, that's
yeah.
Because then it's an opinion.
Yes, but Utopians view it as a fact,
Yeah, but that's
And they allow. I think a big thing is their allowance of you to join it, and they don't even ask any questions. They're like, "All right, you're a Utopia now. We don't."
Oh,
really...
so like the people of the land they're calling.
Yeah, you're like, you're a Utopia now.
No question.
Yeah, just you're.
But then at that point, here's the problem. But then you have people in the Utopia who theoretically, if they're not part of that society, would have hatred, would want to steal, would want.
No, but the Utopian, because the colonies obviously aren't as good as the Utopia.
But then at that point,
That's a problem though.
But then
yeah, so it's gonna get there
kills
eventually.
But that kills Utopia. Then it's like that. That's why. If you look at it, like the idea of like communism only works in a society in which everyone has no prior belief of capitalism. Mm-hmm. Like if someone still has,
I'd argue it kind of comes up anyway. Honestly,
but I know what you mean. But like it's harder if someone if they lived a life of capitalism and that's innate greed is inside them, and then it's like now it's gone now.
Yeah,
and they're still gonna have it.
Yeah.
In this case, it's like you're having people who would have murdered, would have stole. And it's like, wait, we just don't steal anymore? Like,
no, but it's like, imagine the guy goes to steal, and you're like, here you go. Over time, he's just going to stop stealing. Yeah, because there's no private property.
But I feel like these people are already, the capitalists are already used to living a life of getting more than other people.
Yeah.
And getting stuff in excess. You start giving them free stuff, they're just going to be like, more stuff.
Yeah, take.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like me going into the Chase Bank and taking all the lollipops.
Yeah.
And then selling them for 10 cents, thinking I was an entrepreneur.
So when they get into war, they hire foreign mercenaries that they pay for by selling all the excess.
So they don't have.
But then at that point, even if someone doesn't believe in the war, the stuff that they're cultivating gets sold to pay for the war.
Wait. So you're saying
no, because there's so much excess that they just have tons of money. Utopia is rich.
You just said there wasn't any currency.
They use gold. Like they have gold.
Okay, so
gold.
Gold, like the average person doesn't have any. It's like just a government thing.
Yeah, and Utopia doesn't even like gold, which is gonna come up later. I think Utopia doesn't think gold is special at all.
It's falling apart now. At first I was okay, like this seems good.
The second you introduce the idea
Colonization.
of taking land that is inherently different,
so let's ignore the colonization.
I don't think you could ignore
and
that.
go back to just living on mainland Utopia.
Yeah, then
that
just mainland is fine. Then you start trying to expand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the towns on Utopia, we're back to there, are not a bubble. They can interact with each other, of course.
Okay.
And if one would like to visit another town, they can do so with permission from the district controller and the senior district controller.
No, I should be able to like go.
Yeah.
I should have to get like approval to go to a town.
That in a perfect.
No, but the thing is, because you need to work and to provide the town, if everyone leaves,
so it's like time off.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Reasonable enough.
If they do so without permission, they'll be branded as a deserter and severely punished.
Is that where we get into the?
If one does so for a second time without permission, they will be enslaved.
That's stupid.
Okay.
Okay, but at that point, like,
let's like, there's plenty of reasons you can come up with why you need to do it twice with like little notice.
See, but here's my problem with this. The main problem. If we're assuming that people like other specific people more than others, right? Like they kind of have they find their friends, have some enemies, whatever. Then all it takes is someone in power to be like, I don't like that guy.
That is so true.
I never got the notice. But it's like,
yes, that is true.
Yeah, and then that's just like easy enslavement.
You know, it's like a Darman video. So they're like, I didn't get the email. What do you mean I sent it? I didn't get it. You know, live to regret it.
And no matter where you are, if you stay a day in a town, you have to be working that whole time.
In that town?
Yeah. So if
you I'm there on vacation. I'm there to see a friend.
Yeah, and you work while you're there.
They don't believe in vacation.
And no, because you could do it, but in order to get food in that town, you have to have worked that day.
But I feel like my thing will become. I feel like you should be able to accrue like days off. I feel like through working.
But you're not allowed to be off. I think that's a concept that you keep carrying it into it because it's a thing in our society. But there's there's free time, but there's no just hanging out and lazing about.
See, that's what he disagrees with.
But the thing is, I think like it's like they could still be like doing something all day, but it just wouldn't be whatever that it wouldn't be.
Yeah, it would just be the intellectual stuff, I guess, because that's your options. So all Utopians wear the exact same clothes.
It's fine.
For work, they wear leather overalls, and when they appear in public, they wear an undyed woolen cloak.
It's fine. Who cares?
I mean, I guess that's inoffensive.
And that's and that really represents how collectivist Utopia is. It's not individualistic at all. You don't get to have your own personal.
It's actually a metaphor for how they're all sheep.
there's not really any classes in the economic sense because everyone's capable of having everything they need.
I think that's a plus.
And they have no desire to hoard things because you can always get whatever you need when you need it.
Yeah, you're right.
That eliminates a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yes. Interestingly, there is freedom of religion in Utopia.
I like that.
Okay, that's fine.
This is one of the only ways to have
Like
a sense of individuality, in my opinion, in Utopia.
I feel like I feel like there are some religions that in turn flat out say like everyone but us is wrong.
But I think every religion inherently says that. Otherwise, it's not a religion.
Some religions are more pronounced about it.
Some of them are more like people believe whatever and that's fine. But then there are others that are like your job is to convert people to the true.
Well,
faith.
I think that's every religion besides Judaism, honestly.
No, but
every religion.
But
wants
like
to
even
convert
then,
people.
some religions go about it differently. Like I know, like Christianity, it's like, oh, you need to spread the gospel. You still love everybody.
No, but the idea is that you love them. That's why you want to spread the gospel.
Yes.
But then there are people who will go up to someone who's Muslim and be like, I'm trying to save your life, and like harassing them, and it's like, man, like it's clear that there's like
That would cause issues in Utopia. But in Utopia, they recently caught word of Jesus, and they're huge
Jesus.
fans. They love Jesus, and they all, vast majority of them, en masse converted to Christianity.
Okay. Based.
it's fine.
We love Christianity.
Utopia.
Wait though, then do people live in sections based on their religion?
It's
They just
randomly.
coexist.
It's randomly gone.
But like, for example, like when it like if someone's kosher, it's like is there
I don't think there are Jews there.
But what?
No, because it's Utopia. There was an initial population, and Jews don't really spread in the
Where
same way.
is Utopia? Like, where on planet Earth would Utopia be?
I think it's stated, but I can't remember, and I didn't write down. My apologies.
Okay, but like if someone
Europe. It's in Europe.
But like if someone's halal, it's like they would need.
Oh yeah,
like,
how does that work?
There probably wouldn't be Muslims either, just based on the.
What is this freedom?
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of
I mean,
religion.
in terms of because they're not taking people from every part of the world. The part of the world, it's basically just going to be Christians and pagans. But every part of the
religion
pagans.
is BS.
but I
though.
feel
No, it's because nobody knows about
freedom
Islam.
of
But
religion.
but I feel like intellectuals would find a way of learning about it, and then like a lot of intellectuals believe in multiple things because they're like they see it.
No, that is actually a good point. They would learn about it, maybe.
So then it's like that.
But they're also very isolated, which I think is it's a major issue. Because if you're not really interacting with other groups, and except for when you're like colonizing or having diplomats, you're only staying in your same general area.
Weren't some people leaving and kind of exploring? And it's like weren't like some
No.
people. But like I thought people could just leave if they wanted to.
Leave Utopia, the island?
Yeah.
If they figure it out.
They could,
If someone like
but
leaves,
they don't really.
Wait.
Because how would you? You're a deserter if you do that. You can't go back to Utopia, so you can't bring things back. You know what I mean? Because if you have to ask
What
for another
if you
town,
leave Utopia and you just dwell amongst like regular people, and then your area gets colonized and you just integrate back into Utopia?
suppose that could happen.
Would you be able to go back to the mainland, like Utopia?
Well, yeah, because you could travel to the other town by getting the permission from your district controller.
Yeah,
so Utopia counts as one of the other towns.
So in theory, someone could do that, get a bunch of new ideas, come back.
Theoretically, that could happen. Yes.
And if
Then like start a coup almost. Like it's like
Yeah.
No, because the religion would shift, and I think the people in power wouldn't care.
But I feel like the minute
Wait.
the minute the like colonies were happening, no, like you in turn breed people who hate their colonizer. And would find
No,
ways
but the
to
idea is
bring
that
society
Utopia
down.
is so good that anyone actually living under its rule
But
is just down with it.
But people are hateful. The people will be spiteful for the stupidest stuff. Like someone,
especially if they're not like born in Utopia.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying if it's
Like
someone
the
who
people who are
lived their
colonized.
life A and out of the blue became B through Utopia.
Yeah.
I think they would harbor hatred for Utopia.
Is the effect of Utopia being so good? Is that like an actual like effect or like trance, and it washes over a person like, oh my gosh, or is it just the person like agrees that like, oh yeah, this is probably
It ain't bad,
better,
right.
but
No,
like
it's such a good way of life. You don't really want.
so it's like a mind control thing,
No, there's no mind.
but it has like the
control.
same effect.
I suppose it's just really good.
It's like pheromones in a way.
It's
You
not.
guys are making it way more supernatural.
No,
than this.
but
it's like if I gave you ice cream every day, and you were like, "Oh, this is pretty good," and somebody was like, "Would you like to not have ice cream every day?" And you'd be like, "No, what's wrong with you?"
The health argument.
Let's assume it's healthy ice cream.
That defeats the whole point.
Let's assume every
That
day.
defeats the whole point.
Let's assume every day I work you out and you're doing, and you're
What?
Hey,
every day I'm working you out. And
Hey,
then afterwards, I give you a sweet treat.
ladies and gentlemen,
What's man saying?
I'm trying to
I'm trying to make you a treat.
I give you a sweet treat.
So let's
You want to
say,
see my sweet treat?
Hey, what?
let's say every day I have a
Who's
workout.
on camera saying all
I have
this?
a workout routine
That's
for
gonna
you,
make a great
and
clip.
it's the only workout routine where you get to exercise and you feel great. You're in great shape, and you also
Oh,
get to
yeah,
have
That's
some
not
break.
what exercise
No,
does.
but let's assume it
okay,
does.
wait. Exercise does make you feel
Okay,
good.
but we're assuming that's a thing. And you get to have ice cream every day with no adverse effects. And you're like,
Okay.
wow, this is the best exercise routine ever. I feel
But at a
great.
certain
Free
point,
ice
I'm done with ice cream though. Like I've had it for
That's
like.
so true.
cream. Okay, and
I
actually,
think, and I think it'd have to be you can just eat whatever you want, like
With no
any
adverse
food.
health
Yeah.
effects.
okay. And then some guy comes up to you and he says, try out my workout routine. You don't get to eat whatever you want. You don't feel good. You would never switch over. It's just you have
Right.
such a good option.
Sure.
So that's what Utopia is.
But I
I think
feel
there'd
like
be some people curious enough to just switch over anyway.
I assume.
Because like, what if like I don't know, especially these like intellectuals, right?
Mhm.
What if they want to learn about things, right? So
But
what if
intellectuals also have room to get into positions of influence.
See, no, but I feel like what would happen is someone who came from a society in which that wasn't the case, that like you could eat you could eat whatever, you can't feel good, like they're not gonna trust it. Like it seems off,
Yeah.
because they'll be like, wait a minute, like I've lived my life with A, and now it's B. Like this seems wrong to me. Like I don't feel safe here. Like I feel like there's something kind of off.
Mm-hmm. So I really think the point of Utopia, if I had to say what the society is built on, it's based on pure rationality.
rationality,
Or
like
at
a
least-
rationality of like this is objectively the best way of life, therefore I will live it.
Yeah, it's like we'll be reasoning it out. We're not doing anything irrational, or at least how Thomas More viewed rationality.
Okay,
So there's no hoarding of resources because doing so would be unnecessary and irrational.
sure.
People give others their own excess when they don't need it because it's reasonable to do so.
Wait, do you hear like a ringing sound?
No.
No, I think you have tinnitus, Jasper.
Crazy.
Is it in your ear?
No, I hear.
Is that the air?
That's
it's the
Utopia
air
calling
conditioning.
you.
Am I?
Jasper, it's the air conditioning.
I think my ears are
See you in your
going
doctor.
crazy against me.
So all of Utopia is organized so that every citizen can, and I quote the book, cultivate his mind, which they regard as the secret of a happy life. So it comes down to cultivating your mind, and everything else is secondary.
Okay.
So I think that's Utopia, the long and short of it. Would you all want to live in Utopia?
Okay.
Let's assume mainland, because you raise a lot of interesting points about the colonies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got lost.
I
there.
agree.
I don't
yeah.
think the colony thing was fleshed out enough.
It wasn't. No.
Because the inherent idea of taking a supposedly perfect yet isolated society and imposing it upon other societies, there's too much opportunity for like
Corruption.
the seeping of other values and
Yeah.
therefore the creation of discontent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And especially you get the whole thing of like there's gonna arise at some point the whole like us versus them
Yeah.
argument.
The colonies were an aside. I'll say how it was written because it said if there's an excess of people in Utopia, they just get thrown on the colony. The colonies were meant to.
Okay.
So,
See, that has
See,
an issue.
I would equate it. I would equate it more to like they just find some empty land. I think just taking the land is the problem.
Yeah, the idea.
but there's no empty land. If there was empty land, there wouldn't be half the conflicts we have.
But I feel like, we're talking about a time in which there'd be empty land.
There was not empty land in medieval Europe. I don't know, Renaissance Europe.
I feel like they could have taken a forest and made it land. Like take a forest, chop
People
it up.
still lived in forests.
Yeah, they did.
That's true. You're right.
But
Anyway.
ignore the colonies.
And that
right?
aside-
we're ignoring
colonies
colonies.
don't exist.
Yes.
My real hang up is the slavery. Oddly, it is like it's something.
Is slavery permanent?
Yes.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
But I think slaves are treated fairly well.
But I think if it was used as like punishment for a period of time,
well,
and be
then
like,
I'd say it's not slavery then. It's
but
like an
it's
imprisonment.
but I feel like
it's like it's.
I would equate it to. I think what it should be is like, hey, it's like look what it's like to have no freedoms. Doesn't this suck? Maybe you shouldn't do bad things.
Yeah, I like that more.
But if it's just like you mess up once,
Or you mess up twice.
twice.
Not
Yes,
even
yeah.
3 strikes and you're out.
Yeah, you mess up twice, and it's just like at that point, like why live?
Yeah.
Because like
But the vast majority of people aren't
Also,
slaves.
are the enslaved peoples, are they happy with what they're doing? Because you said everyone's happy with what they're doing. Because, like, theoretically, the enslaved peoples would see what the other people are doing, be unhappy, start some kind of uprising.
Yeah.
But there's way fewer slaves than there are.
It doesn't matter.
But see, but like
No, because like that's the crux of a slave
No,
uprising.
what if the enslaved people just convince everyone that, hey, like, this is unfair. This is an inherent flaw in society.
Yeah.
And you get enough people to agree, like, hey, yeah, that's true. Eventually, it trickles up. Like, someone becomes a district controller.
Well,
or whatever.
especially because like if they're all cohabitating, it's like at that point it's like your friends become slaves.
Yeah.
So
I
like,
also don't think I don't even see the necessity
yeah,
of
like
slavery.
there's
in
no
society.
need for it.
Yeah, it's a perfect society.
No,
Why
no,
do you
but in farming, I agree. But I do kind of see the argument, not that I agree with it, but I see its existence for stopping people from killing animals. So, like, hunters are all slaves.
But like there's no need to
why
if
not
there's
just
unlimited
make it
food.
just make it a
No,
designation?
but unlimited food doesn't come from, people are getting it. So a hunter...
Is there unlimited... Do they breed,
Okay,
do
but
they
okay,
farm it,
but
breed
they just-
animals?
but okay,
They hunt, they breed animals,
Okay, but then
only
why isn't a
slaves
hunter
can
an
kill it.
ability? Why isn't a hunter a
Why
skill then?
Yeah, why
Because
does
a trait.
No, because the idea is that if you draw blood, you cease being human. So they don't want the
Forever?
citizens doing it. Yeah, so you lose your humanity.
No,
and
I
you
think
draw
there should be. I think there should be like Levitical law, where if you do something like that, you're unclean, but then there's ways for you to become clean again. Because in the book of Leviticus, it says that like, let's say you like draw blood from someone, you become unclean like for the evening or for the week,
Uh-huh.
and it would be like that. It would be like you get designated this position of doing like dirty work or unclean work,
Yeah.
and then like.
But then
after-
nobody will want to ever do it.
It's a punishment.
No,
then.
no, but people need to kill animals for society to function.
Yes.
Okay,
We're not
but I feel
accepting.
like there are people who just innately like kind of want to hurt animals. Which I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying like get those
No,
people.
no, I see where he's coming
Yeah.
from.
Like, there are people who just like their fun is hunting. Like
Yeah.
to them, like a good Saturday is like going out and shooting some deer.
They would argue that those people are inhuman, and they would be
But
slaves.
like, that
Then
point,
just make
don't make them slaves. Just make them like a marksman class.
Yeah, just
But,
literally.
maybe slaves are just the marksman class. Because
But I
The
think-
label of an enslaved
Yeah, like-
person.
I think the minute you,
slaves are kind of brushed over too, honestly.
here's the thing, I think the minute you use the word slavery, it has so
It's
many
inherently
like,
bad.
Yeah, there's other connotations to it. And the thing is like, why should they lose their freedom?
They can't vote. Slaves can't vote.
But my thing is like, they're providing a service everybody needs.
Mhm.
Like everyone needs to eat.
a
No,
necessity.
the way it's written is more so that you become a slave, then you become the hunter.
No,
So it's like the people who are already unpure for whatever reason then get
But
to do the
at
unpure
that
stuff.
point, like theoretically,
It's like a Witcher.
It's like
what if there are no slaves? Then like no one eats. So it's
Yeah,
like
no.
I guess.
Here's the thing.
So I'm saying, like,
No
well,
one.
then they trade the slaves around.
What?
So it makes no sense.
This implies that like a perfect society is a vegan society.
See, but then
But also
yeah.
that it's not perfect because you don't have all the options available at
See,
will.
but here's the real thing. Then, at first, if there aren't enough hunters, are they just making people slaves arbitrarily? Is it like it's like yeah, you know what? Like he broke the law, make him a slave. To
Yeah,
make
then that's literally what we're facing today. That's inherently corrupt.
yeah. Like I
And then
think
you just start beefing with people,
yeah.
and then
Because my thing is like there's no reason for this society to have slavery.
I agree.
Because the thing is like if they're doing the same
So-
work, living in the same places, eating the same
make it
food.
an honor or something.
Like-
So let's drop slavery from the
no,
society.
well, I feel like it's kind of the big thing you mentioned. Also, I think
No, but I mean in terms of... Because I think the crux of deciding if you want to live in Utopia isn't the slavery, it's not the colonialism. It's the communal aspect. Would you want to live in a society built like Utopia, ignore the colonies, and assume the slavery is not there?
Why not?
Sure.
I'm saying like nothing about it seems bad. Like you have your family.
if we take solely the idea of like a perfect harmonious community, I think there's a lot of good in that.
Yeah. It's like what's wrong with it? You know?
I think it's awfully restrictive to
But
be in one.
the whole
But-
premise
but-
of the society is that you said no one cares. Everyone is infinitely happy.
Yes.
They wouldn't know of anything
Yes,
else.
but we're assuming...
We're looking at this from the outside in, knowing a society where people are diverse. People have different
Yes.
thoughts. People have different ways of living. And we inherently see that as a good thing. That's what we grew up with. If you grew up in a society, we're never seeing contact with the outside world, never knowing anything is like anything could be different, and living in this inherently perfect society, you wouldn't care.
It's like The Giver.
Dude, I was going to bring up The Giver.
But they run, they
I was
run
actually-
away from the Giver. They don't like living in the Giver. That's Utopia is like the Giver. I'll give you that. But people don't want to
I
live
guess
in the
he's a
Giver.
Bro's the tree.
Anyways, continue.
No, it's like in Fyodor Dostoevsky's Notes from the Underground. It follows the underground man. He has this famous monologue where
Okay.
he he compares man. I'll find the full on. I don't think I can do it justice. Dostoevsky was a brilliant man. Mm-hmm. You guys can discuss something further. Discuss The Giver.
I kind of forgot what happened.
I read it a long time ago.
I
What I remember is they were like the main character. There was like this society where everyone grows up and then you like get put in a job. And I remember the conflict was like this character like befriended a baby and they were gonna kill the baby because it was like defective or something. So they gotta like work through the system. Oh my gosh! And there was like this like religious like cult thing that the main character got pulled into, and they were like studying under someone.
There was something.
No. So the way it works is I'm very proud of my ability to remember things from 6th grade. But so the way it works, is,
I remember the lightning thief from 6th grade.
I didn't read Percy Jackson.
Dude, you're missing out.
I watched the movies.
Okay, the movies don't do it justice.
But I love the
You also
movies.
not read the books? Oh my gosh, you guys are missing out.
I loved Grover. He was
You
awesome.
guys are missing out. I'm sorry. Please read Percy
So
Jackson.
essentially, in The Giver, everyone gets a job, and the main guy's name is Jonas. I believe.
Jonas,
yes.
And Jonas's job is to be the giver. No, is to be the emotion keeper or something, and the giver is the emotion. So he needs to remember every emotion because nobody else has any emotions.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
But no, and then like that's why he rebels because he feels sadness and happiness.
Yes, and he was studying under the Giver and learning about all the actual stuff that happens in that society.
Yeah. So I'll now read the quote from Notes from the Underground.
Okay.
This is the underground man talking, a man that has scorned society. Mm-hmm. And that is not all. Even if a man really were nothing but a piano key, even if this were proved to him by natural science and mathematics, even then he would not become reasonable, but would purposely do something perverse out of simple ingratitude, simply to gain his point. And if he does not find means, he will contrive destruction and chaos, will contrive suffering of all sorts, only to gain his point. He will launch a curse upon the world, and as only a man can curse, it is his privilege, the primary distinction between him and other animals. Maybe by his curse alone he will attain his object. That is to convince himself that he is a man and not a piano key. If you say that all this too can be calculated and tabulated, chaos and darkness and curses, so that the mere possibility of calculating it all beforehand would stop it all, and reason would reassert itself, then man would purposely go mad in order to be rid of reason and gain his point. So in Utopia, you're forced to be the piano key. You're there, you're doing what needs to be done, and you don't have anything else.
Right.
And this was, Notes from the Underground was really Dostoevsky's argument against utopianism. The idea that you can create a perfect society. Because he thinks people need pain. They need suffering. They can't function without it. If they don't get the suffering, they'll create their own suffering.
You know what? I agree, because I feel like there are people you will talk to who have lived charmed lives, like nothing has gone bad, yet they still find problems. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and the problems are inconsequential and kind of, dumb. And it's like, man...
Wait, were you censoring yourself from saying stupid by saying dumb?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. No, but it's like you talk to them and it's like that's your problem.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's because they don't know actual problems. So like to them, like a problem is like being out of oat milk, like stuck. Like that's your issue.
Yeah.
Like that's like that's your hardship, huh?
I can see that.
And it's like those people usually suck because like they think they're these like, oh, I understand the world. Well, they don't know.
No, think about the people you respect too. It's like you don't respect the silver spoon in his mouth kid who had everything his whole life. But you respect people who overcome struggle.
You respect them if they're kind people and if they're doing a good
like
job.
Them, but you don't respect them.
I think you'd respect them if they had a better understanding of their situation and were truly.
I equate it. Like there are some people. Like, I think of like nepo babies, right? Mm-hmm. Like there are actors who are nepo babies who are really good actors, and I respect their craft and their ability to act.
But would you respect them more if they came from nothing?
Honestly, no.
Really?
Because acting is inherently a skilled thing. Like they wouldn't stick around if they weren't good actors.
Yeah,
honestly, I think there's bad actors.
Here's the thing, but usually what happens is like if it's someone's son or whatever, they get like their one shot, and after like, hello, oh yeah, it's like, and then they can't act. It's like, come on, man, you're done.
Well, yeah, but you said that they would get multiple shots. They wouldn't be respected nearly as much. And that seems to be
that's the thing. No one respects them because it's like, man, like we know you're only here because of your dad.
Yeah, because like nepo baby is an insult, and self-made man is a compliment. And I think that's.
But no one's self-made is bullshit. Like, to be self-made, you be born in a forest with no mother, no parents.
No,
everything out on your own.
It's being disingenuous to say that's self-made. Because obviously nobody says you created yourself and did everything from scratch.
But it's the whole joke of like pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. You can't do that.
Yes, you can't.
But it's
Bootstraps took on its own life. That was meant to be an ironic.
Yeah, it's like
But-
I think to me what self-made really is like you had adversity, you had problems,
Yes.
and you overcame them.
and
succeed.
We're agreeing, yes.
But it's like people with money still have problems. Like, they can still have abusive parents. They can still they can still have issues.
Yeah.
But the people I don't respect are the ones that don't have issues, but like try to make their life deep. Like what's his name? Jaden Smith, who's like who's that one where he was what was he saying? He had this whole thing where he was like,
Are we a celebrity gossip podcast now?
no, we might be. No. He's that one where he was like, man, like, can we talk about the political and economic state of the world right now? He was that guy, and he was going around. And he was like, I don't get kids in this generation because like they're like blah, and I'm like,
Jasper, what are you
yo,
talking about?
do you not know Jaden Smith?
No.
Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son.
Will Smith's son. But like,
Is he the one who does that thing in the rap song where he's like, bah, 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 bah?
he might be. But no.
Will Smith
Wait,
has a baby feature.
did you see Will Smith's new attempts at rapping? It's so funny.
I pulled a pin out of the grenade before I threw it. Even though I'm an action star, sometimes I'm an act buzzer. But his son is just as corny. But because like his son he's had no problems, so like he'll walk
No,
around.
honestly, I think they have like a horrible marriage.
Oh, they do.
I think growing up in that marriage is not
No, the
good.
funniest thing is, it's because like Jada was like dating Tupac when he was still alive.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like because I was listening to some of Tupac's songs, and he talks about like he's a self-made millionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like then you got like, it's funny how like then with the second husband, like the child is not self-made by the definition.
But like, but on top of that, but like Jaden Smith just as a guy is so cool. Like he's one of those guys that has no real personality, so he just like adds things on that sound interesting. At one point, he was like, "No, like if I really love you, I'll make a bed frame for you."
Huh?
And it's like what? And he's like, nah, cause like I'm a carpenter and shit. He's like, yeah, I'll pull up my saws and my drills. And, like I'll make you a bed frame, and I'll put a note in there so that when you like when in the future you like take the mattress out and you're moving, you'll see the note that I left you. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like it was so.
Why do you have
This is
such
accurate.
beef of Jaden Smith? How old is Jaden Smith?
Oh, he's like in his 20s. He's an adult. He's not like a 5-year-old.
He's like our peer.
Yeah.
We could have him as a guest on the podcast.
I'd punch him in the
Jasper,
face.
don't
he's a
Jasper,
schmuck.
don't burn the bridges.
I'm sorry, the Will Smith bridge.
we gotta start serious beef with Jaden Smith.
Hey Jaden, I'm gonna find your ass.
This is how
you better back up, little bro. Cause I'm gonna act bizarre on you.
That sounds freaky. If I'm trying to get bizarre on Jaden Smith, you're gonna get slapped.
Keep my son's name out of your mouth. That killed Will Smith's career.
It really did.
Well, I think it was being a cuck. It was that and being a cuck.
No, but we knew that for a while.
But
That's
I think-
where the crying Will Smith picture came from.
But I think it's like the fact that he was a cuck and then he did it like out of anger. It just made him seem like such a such a wimp.
yeah.
Cause like his whole like, cause I was watching Independence Day recently, classic film.
Where everything gets blown up.
Yeah, like on 4th of July. But like the whole point of that is like he's a Marine, big action
Yeah, it
guy.
doesn't work anymore.
And now he's kind of like, hey honey, you okay? Like he's like in the closet. like that guy isn't Arnold.
He's an action star.
But sometimes he want to act bizarre. That's him acting bizarre. But he an artist, y'all. he keeps that song is so
the
bad.
bounce back.
Oh, this is the bounce back. What was he doing?
Okay. I think we did a good job going through...
Yeah!
What a great
I
ender.
think we did a good job.
Great episode, guys.
Good job going through Utopia.
Yeah.
I hope you learned a lot about
I
Thomas More's famous work.
I learned so much. I had no clue
No,
about
yeah,
any of
it's
this.
a real interesting discussion. I hope you take more out of this
The
podcast.
only
than just
Utopia
us
I knew was
beefing with
Utopia
Jaden
City
Smith.
from Fortnite.
What?
The only Utopia I knew was Utopia City
No,
from Fortnite.
the main Utopia I remember is there was this one like world in Angry Birds Space where it was like a planet and every planet was a donut.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
Angry Bird Space and Angry Bird Star Wars just always confused me because they're basically the same thing.
No,
No, they're different.
They're completely
No,
because space is just original like space, And Star Wars is like Angry Birds. What if like you did all the Star Wars episodes, but they were just Angry Birds?
I would say space was better. I liked space a lot.
Space had some cool gimmicks.
It did. And then some cool reskins.
Yeah. The what was your favorite space reskin?
I think it's the bird because the bird. Has...
Wow!
I meant the.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Yeah, you know the bird. What's your favorite?
What were you trying to say?
The bluebird.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, you cloned a bunch, right?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
but for him,
I
like
think it's like one of them is
a visor.
Jay.
Jay, because he had like a visor and stuff. The bird.
I thought Chuck had the visor. He was
No,
purple.
Chuck had the visor, yeah.
Chuck had the visor. He was purple.
And he had like the...
Yeah, but he was
the
also
neck
purple
thing.
in space.
But dude, what did the bluebird?
No, they
have?
had like the orange mask with the lightning bolts.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
That one is sick though.
I like that
I
one.
like that one too. I don't like that Terrence is just green.
Who's Terrence?
The big red
big
bird.
Bro has not
You know
seen
the
Angry Birds movie.
I saw it
Wait,
once.
you know the copy pasta with Angry Birds?
No.
Which we will not say on camera.
What?
Oh, we'll tell you after.
We'll
We'll
tell you after the fact.
Yeah, but
Please Google it.
just Google it. It's funny. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. We hope you learned a lot. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Spotify wherever you get your podcasts. Check out our Instagram and TikTok, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.